All right, so welcome back to day one part storytelling. And this is something very interesting that's gonna happen. I hope you have liked the day one part one and day one part two videos where we have learned about what is product manager, different types of product managers, and how we need to have the framework in our mind in order to understand the whole business analysis. So in this basically video, we are trying to put ourselves as someone who have joined a new product manager and then get into a storytelling mode and see how ChatGPT can help us in order to take it further. So, all right, let's turn day one into a story you can walk inside. So, you're stepping into your first day as a product manager at Analysistrends. So I joined as a product manager at Analysistrends, assuming that a mid-stage service as a software company that help a business analyst and aspiring product manager learn through interactive simulations. So Analysistrends is like a simulation platform, and I'm joining product manager there. So the scene one is the first morning. So you walk into the coffee still warm in hand. It makes more sense now we read. No grand ceremony, just a desk, a monitor, and a Slack ping. A ping from Priya, who is a senior product manager. Welcome aboard. You shadow me for a week. So we'll be shadowing Priya, who is basically a senior product manager. And let's start with our latest pain point. Users are signing up but not completing any simulations. So we see an issue here. Users are signing up but not completing any simulation. You nod. You say yes, trying not to look at nervous as you feel. So Priya continues, before we touch solutions, we need to understand the problem. That's rule number one, right? So we are understanding the user pain points. So she slides her chair closer and sketch three circles on a whiteboard. User, business, and tech. So you live in middle of these three, she says. We know that. We have learned it from the previous day one, part one and part two. If one moves, the other don't. The product tears apart. So if other don't move, then the product is not 100% right. So we are now stepping into scene two. The scene two is finding the problem because the very first step as we do as a product manager is to find out the problem area, the user pain point. So we dive into the data. The problem here is that the user are signing up but not doing any or not completing any simulations, right? So what we do now is we find the problem. So we dive into the data. We see that there are 10,000 signups last month, and out of 10,000, only 1,200 users finished the first simulation. Okay, so we have 10,000 users data, and 1,200 users have finished the first simulation. That's just 12%, right? So you interview a few users on Zoom. Now, let's say you are dealing directly with the customers. You go on a call with them, and the first user says, I didn't get what I do after I click start. The user 2 says, the screen froze when I tried on mobile. The user 3 says, it looks interesting but too long. So Priya asks you, so what is the real problem? You think for a moment. First user, what the user said, it didn't get what to do after I click start. So the user was lost. User was not sure what is that he's actually getting after he clicks start. I didn't got that. The second thing is not working on mobile, which is very clear. The third is it look interesting but too long. The length of the content is too long. So user feel lost, not because the simulation is bad, because the simulation or because they are unclear how to start and what value they'll get. She smiled. Who? Priya. Good. You're thinking like a product manager. Problems before solution. Scene 3. Understanding the type of product management work. Now, during lunch, Priya pulls you into a casual chat. You meet many product managers flavors here. She says growth product manager run experiment. We know that they are the one who bring acquisition revenue. They focus on more of growth of product. They'll tweak onboarding screens and track conversations. Platform product managers handle our backend simulation engine. Yes, so they are the one who actually getting involved in implementing the systems. Technical product manager make sure our data pipelines are running smooth. right? The movement of the data and all those things. And as like you as a product manager and the Priya as a product manager who are directly dealing with the consumers or the customers, B2C product managers, keep the learner experience simple. So you realize the title product manager isn't a single job. It's a family of roles, each solving a different kind of pain, right? Next, we move to the scene for the cross-functional huddle. This afternoon, you join your first stand-up meeting. After that, around the table, there are three people sitting here. Ravi, who is an engineer, Anya, Anya, basically a designer, and the Priya, who is a product manager. So Ravi says if we cut the animation file size, load time drops by 40%. So something has been discussed in this meeting. Let's see what's happening. Ananya, designer, I can add a start here queue for new users. Okay. And Priya says let's measure that if lifts completion rate by 10%. So no one's bossing anyone. It's a conversation around why, what, and how fast. So you start to see it. The product manager is all about alignment, not command. And that's what we see. And we see that people are not commanding here. People are not bossing anyone. People are just saying that how fast we can do it, basically by dropping by 40% in mobile, basically. And then your designer can say that he can start here for a queue for the new users so that they can get started with it, and let measure it that if lift by completion rate by 10%. By doing this, let's see if we can get more 10% added. Like it was 12% currently, it goes to around 22. So 2,200 people would basically sign up out of 10,000. So the scene 5 is the first small decision that you take as a product manager. Priya turns to you. We have 1 week. What experiment would you prioritize first? You replay you replay her morning lessons. Why this? From whom? What outcome? How feasible? What trade-off? You answer slowly. Let's start with the one onboarding queue. It's less effort, easy to test, directly hits the user confusion issue. So by putting start here button on the UI will help users to start, and basically it's less effort and it's easy to test and track, and she not exactly that's a PM thinking. The scene 5 is a reflection at the day ends. So you jot notes in your new product management journal. The things you mention here are the concept, what I saw today, and the takeaway. So core roles, product manager doesn't code or design, connect or I mean doesn't code or design, they connect the dots. Influence is greater than authority, right? So problem versus solutions. Team focused on why before what. Curiosity first. Types of PM, we learned about it. Growth, platform, tech, B2C, working together. Product management is a spectrum. As team dynamics, daily syncs align everyone. Communication is equals to product health. Thinking model, 5-step reasoning for choices. Frameworks, is nothing but the gut feel. You glance at your scene one last time. The dashboard shows experiment one onboarding key use test live. Tiny step, but it is yours. Day one takeaway script. Today I learned that product manager it is about features, it's about understanding people, shaping clarity among chaos, and measuring whether the story you tell through a product actually lands. Okay, so this is what we have learned in the day one script storytelling mode. So let me just put this into our loop so that we can go back and watch this or read this anytime. So let me go to loop, and I've created here something called storytelling. So here we have story mode for individual. So we have here the whole concept, what we have learned, and here we have a story mode, what we have just learned. So let me put a story. So let me put something called movie. We will get something called good here. So this is like a story mode, and we'll let me put movie here. So this is our story mode that we have just learned. So thanks for watching this video, and in the next video definitely we're gonna cover about day 2, and let's get started with the basic understanding of day 2 activities first and then get started. Uh, just to give you a view, as you have watched till end, we have something called BA Simulation Analysis Trend at the end. This is my own product, which I'm working on as a product manager and helping business analysts to grow in their career field by using case studies, learning paths, interviews, templates, and then techniques. So go and explore, see what you can learn from this, and let me know. Thanks for watching this. See you in day 2.